All right. So hi everyone. Today we're going to be discussing about as many questions as we can, okay, on this one. But I'm not really going to discuss how to give you the answer. Sorry, I'm not really going to discuss every single step lah. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the hint, and I'm also going to give you the answers, okay, to the questions lah. Okay, and I would like you to try it on your own. Now, I know that I'm starting with paper one, which is usually the harder paper because the questions are what we call very conceptual. Okay, paper one questions are very conceptual in a sense where the calculation is not so important as opposed to whether you understand the concept behind the admaths concept that you learned. So understanding the concept is actually more important, plays a bigger role in these paper one questions as opposed to paper two. Paper two, you can close your eyes and still do, because the questions are pretty standard lah. But the paper one, okay, paper one is always a challenge because it really tests to see if your concept is good. Okay, so have that in mind when we look into this paper lah. Okay, so let's begin. So this is, the answers are already pre-written. I've already pre-written the answers at the side over there. I'm just going to tell you how to do it for certain questions. I won't show everything, but I'll just, kind of go all the way lah. Okay, so diagram one shows a function of G maps set A to set B and a function of H inverse. Notice that this is H inverse, okay, mapping set B to set C. Okay, so one thing that you need to remember, conceptual again, is how to read this. Okay, so this one, what we need to know is that G3, okay, equals to P. Okay, so this is how we would read this. G is the object. Sorry, 3 is the object and P is the image. So G3 equals to 3 equals to P. Okay, this is the first thing. And then of course the other one will be inverse 1 of P, inverse of HP equals to 3 lah. That one is pretty standard. Okay, sorry. Who is Vanna? Okay, never mind. Let's just do it lah. Okay, so then you're given that gx is 3x minus 1, and then you are given this one lah. Okay, the composite function, okay, inverse hg equals to, then it's very long at the side over there. Okay, question is, if a student writes p equals to 10, determine whether the value is correct or wrong. Okay, sorry, okay, if a student writes p equals to 10, so is g3, okay, the question is g3 equals to 10? Is it correct or is it wrong? Okay, so how would you determine what the value of G3 is? Because G3 kita sudah tetapkan. From this one, G3 is P. So when you substitute 3, whatever value you get, you should get P lah. Okay, so is the answer 10 or not? Okay, so what you need to do is you substitute. Okay, substitute x equals to 3. Then get the answer. Okay, and of course the answer is salah and the actual answer is 8 lah. Okay, p equals to 8. So again, I'm not going to show you the working, I'm just going to show you how to do it lah. Okay, and then secondly is find the inverse function of hx. Okay, the inverse function of hx, this is pretty simple. This is h minus 1 gx. You are given this is 3 plus 6x over 3x minus 2. Okay, and you are given the inside one. Inside one is already given. Okay, so this one is a very standard question. Find the inside, outside, except that probably they're trying to, like confuse you. Hey, other inverse this one. Doesn't matter whether it's inverse or not. Just do as you normally would do. The first step is put in the gx. So h minus 1, and when I'm going to put the g as this one, 3x minus 1. Okay, equals to 3 plus 6x over 3x minus 2. Okay, wow, ramai pula ni hari. Okay, and then this is a standard question. Okay, what do you do after this? The first thing you do is kau kasih jadi u equals to 3x minus 1, and then you substitute, you find x equals to yada 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 yada. Then you substitute the u in here and this one in these two x's and simplify. Okay, I repeat, whenever you come to a situation like this, you have to find the outside function. Okay, this is the inside function. This is the, sorry, this is the outside function. This is the inside function. Okay, you are given the inside function. Means gx is already given to you. You need to find the outside function. So what you do is you convert the inside function, kasih jadi sama dengan u, and then you, okay, fine, I'll do this lah. Okay, so x equals to u plus 1 over 3. Okay, lepas saya pindah, saya dapat u plus 1 over 3. And then I substitute the 3x minus 1 with u. Okay, so I'll get h minus 1u equals to, then this x and this x, I substitute with u plus 1 over 3. So I get 3 plus 6, u plus 1 over 3 over 3 u plus 1 over 3 minus 2. Okay, then I simplify. I'm not going to waste time simplifying. Okay, and I will get this answer. They just convert the u back to x at the end. At the very end, just convert the u back to x. Okay, so you know, when we have sessions like this, and I always tell this to the people who are sitting for SPM, you know, you sit down and you watch this video, I don't expect you to, sorry, of course, I hope that you have already tried the questions on your own. But if you have not, okay, if you have not, what you should be doing is, kamu ambil dulu all the clues, take all the hints that I'm about to give you, and then after this class is over, then you try the questions, you know, at your own time. Okay, that is the proper way to study. And sorry, I have to teach you how to study. Those of you who can do, if you have a different method of studying, okay, then you go with that method. But if you have not thought about, okay, macam mana ini saya mau belajar ini kan sambil mendengar this, you know, Mr. Marcus blah, 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 kan. Okay, what you do is you try to get the general idea of how to answer the question. Copy down whatever hints there are. Only after the class is over, then you sit down and you properly do the questions. Okay, if you don't get how to do it, then once again, once again you this one lah. Okay, you watch the video so that you can get an understanding. Sorry, give me a minute. So I hope you get the idea. Okay, this class is not meant for you to sit down and then lepas di sini baru kamu mau buat kerja. No. This class is just to get all the hints, how to answer the question, and then after that, later you answer the questions. Okay, number 2 is a pretty easy question. Okay, diagram 2 shows an equilateral triangle ABC. Equilateral means all 3 sides are the same. So if this is x, and this is the whole thing is x lah. Okay, the midpoint of BC is at Q. Now, if they give you the midpoint, you kind of know that they want you to find this lah. Okay, and you know that this is half x and this is half x. Okay, and after a while, you kind of already know that you need to find this length. Okay, what is this length? Okay, we use Pythagoras theorem. Okay, that's kind of a given lah. When they give you a triangle, sure got something to do with Pythagoras theorem. Okay, now the midpoint of BC, this one, the arc of the circle touches BC at Q and meets point AB. Okay, so all this information is given over here. Find the angle of BAC, this whole thing, in radians. Okay, now because this is an equilateral triangle, every angle is 60 degrees. Okay, so 60 degrees change to radian, you will get pi over 3, or you can get the 1 point something lah. Okay, either way is fine. I'm just giving you the answer as I would give. I would prefer pi. You know why? Because the next question, they ask you to give everything in terms of pi. So I kind of want you to do this one, but if you really don't want, okay, you can also use 1.047 radian lah. Okay, either way is fine. Okay, tapi this 60 degrees, this is a no-brainer. Satu markah saja ini. Okay, you just have to know that it is equilateral. Okay, the area of the shaded region. Okay, and you have to give your answer in surd form and in terms of x and pi, and then this is how the answer looks like lah. Okay, it's pretty strange, but this is a very standard question, except that now we're not dealing with numbers. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is to find AQ. This is very, very standard. Okay, first thing you do is find AQ. You need to find AQ because the area of the shaded region, okay, the area of the shaded region, if you think about it, okay, the area of shaded region is the area of triangle, okay, the whole triangle, the big triangle, okay, minus the area of sector, okay, area of sector, this one lah. No, you know what, let me not, okay, area of sector. So the area of triangle is half times base times height, okay, which is why I said you need to find the height. Okay, you can use Heron's formula if you want. Okay, you can use Heron's formula, or you can use 1 over 2 AB sine C. Okay, that means x and then sine this angle. You can also use that. Okay, totally no problem. Okay, but I will use half times base times height because I want to find that height lah. Okay, doesn't matter. Then area of sector is this again the jejari, the radius is the height. That's why I said finding this height is very important. Okay, remember the radius, okay, is the height of the triangle. Okay, not A to B. This is not the radius. Okay, I would probably guess that some of you would have just immediately substitute the radius as x. Okay, salah, remember the radius is only from A to P, not A to B. Okay, so be very careful with that. That's why the answer, it looks very, very strange. Okay, it looks like this, like, what is this answer? Okay, but you will get there lah. So find the area of the triangle minus the area of the sector and then simplify. Okay, just simplify it, okay, and leave the pi and the x in there because the question is asking for the answer in terms of x and pi. Okay, so you get this answer lah, square root 3 over 4 x squared minus pi x squared over 8. All right, question number 3. Also another conceptual question, okay, given a quadratic function with this, such that p is a constant. Okay, when fx is more than 0, you're given this, okay, a number line is used to solve this quadratic inequality lah. Okay, that is shown in this one. Now you're given that a is a positive constant. Now if a is a positive constant, okay, let's alpha, not a, alpha. Okay, we have to find the value of the roots of the quadratic equation. Okay, now what we are very used to, okay, what we're very used to is when we have fx is more than 0, then lepas tu saya selalu cakap kan, okay, draw the graph and then shade. This is essentially the same thing. Okay, essentially the same thing where the graph will look something like this lah. Okay, essentially the same thing. Oh dear. Okay, where ini adalah satu punca and then ini adalah satu punca yang lain. Okay, so this one is alpha minus 5 and this one is alpha. It is the same situation that we are used to. It's just that they give it in different form. Again, not to test whether you know this or not. You probably know this. You just need to know the concept. Okay, you need to be able to use the same knowledge in different situations. Okay, that's what this question is all about. Okay, and we know that these are the roots. Okay, the roots are alpha minus 5 and alpha. And we are already given this, where this is the sum of the roots and this is the product of the roots. And so the sum of the roots, okay, if I were to do the sum of the roots lah, okay, I have to change this symbol. So this is negative p minus 1 equals to alpha minus 5 plus alpha, because the two roots are alpha minus 5 and alpha. And the other one, the product of roots is this one, 2p. And so 2p equals to alpha minus 5 times alpha. Okay, then after that you get the value of alpha. Okay, you get the value of alpha, get the value of the roots, and get the value of p. Okay, again now guys, the value of the roots is not the value of alpha. The roots are alpha minus 5 and alpha. Okay, alpha minus 5 and alpha. Okay, so that's why the question is not asking you to find alpha, but in order to find the roots, you need to find alpha. Lepas tu substitute dalam alpha minus 5 and alpha lah. Itu biasalah. Okay, and then after that, the value of P. Once you get the value of alpha, you can find the value of P. Okay, so you get this. So actually, this question is a very easy question. Okay, the thing that makes it difficult again is the concept. Okay, if I don't draw the graph, okay, it will be something very strange like apa ini, like you've never seen this before. Okay, the number lines thing, right? Okay, at least for my students, I don't really teach the number lines thing because I always focus on, the graph. But it's actually the same thing. Okay, it's actually the same thing. This is less, sorry, this is the less part, this is the middle part, and this is the more part. Okay, it is the same thing. Okay, just written in a different way. Okay, which makes this kind of questions very fun. Everybody's like, oh, I don't like. Okay, next question. Of the many questions in this paper, this is kind of one of the easiest lah. It's quite simple. The answer is 1395/2 for question A, and question B is Tn equals to 38. Okay, so you're given the first three terms, find the sum of the sixth term to the 20th term. Okay, this is again conceptual. Of course, you have to find the value of A and the value of D. That's very normal. The sum of the sixth term to the 20th term is S20 minus S5. Okay, be very careful. It's not S20 minus S6. It's S20 minus S5. The sixth term, you want to include the sixth term. Okay, that's why you don't find S6. Okay, so you get the answer 1395/2, or something similar to that. I think if you use perpuluhan also, it's fine. 1395, 697.5 also can. Sorry, there's somebody here called Zoom user. Who is this Zoom user? Oh no. Should I be scared of Zoom user? Okay, never mind. Anyway, Zoom user, please identify yourself. This Vena also, there's somebody called Vena here. Who is Vena? Okay, Diony Felix is here, so it's fine. Okay. Yeah, anyway, Vena and this Zoom user. Okay, if you can identify yourself, it will be very helpful. Okay, second question. Given an arithmetic progression, yada yada. Again, arithmetic progression. Determine the smallest value of n such that nth term is smaller than 40. We always start from this sentence. Okay, we start from this sentence. The nth term is smaller than 40. Okay, and we hone in on this. This is Tn is less than 40. Okay, and since this is an arithmetic progression, okay, we will get yada 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 yada. Sorry, Tn is less than 40. Okay, then you go all the way, find the value of n, and then after that use that n. This is the final answer, because look at the question. The question is not asking you to find the value of n, not just to find the value of n lah. Okay, you are supposed to find the nth term. That means if you get the n correct, then you will get the Tn correct lah, assuming that you substitute into the equation correctly. Okay, so A plus n minus 1d is less than 40. Okay, then you fiddle around. I'm only going to give you the answer for the Tn. I'm not going to give you the answer for n equals to which term. Okay, you can figure that out on your own. If you get the n correct, you will get the Tn correct. That's why I'm only giving you the answer for the Tn. Okay, so when I look at this question, sorry, so when I look at this question, I notice that actually this question is a very easy question, standard question lah. Like kalau kamu banyak buat latihan, ini biasa sudah kamu nampak. Okay, just be very careful with this last bit lah. Determine the n term. Lepas kau cari n, cari Tn bagi n yang kamu sudah cari itu. Okay. Number 5. Okay. Number 5 is also, well, yeah, lah, it can be an easy question. Okay, as you can see, it is a third question. So the 2-mark question is an easy question. All you have to do is just conjugate and what is that? Something the denominator, rationalizing the denominator. Okay, so you rationalize the denominator and then you the can be done. Okay, if you need a hint, what you can do is you can cross multiply this lah. So you get 2 times 2 square root of x plus 1 minus 1 times 2 square root of x minus 1. Then you gabung these two, 2 square root x minus 1 multiplied by 2 square root x plus 1. Okay, and you go on and so forth, so on and so forth. Okay, that's the pretty normal step lah. Okay, question B is a little bit tricky. Okay, question B is a little bit tricky. And we find that the answer is that this Q equals to square root of 4p minus 1 divided by 2. Sangat-sangat pelik dia punya jawapan. Okay, but let's look at the question. It says given the yada 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 yada. Okay, express Q in terms of P. Okay, so this one I'll probably show you a little bit. Okay, square root of P minus Q minus square root of P plus Q, okay, equals to 1. The only step that you can do actually is to square both sides. Okay, so you square both sides. And you get this like super long. This one, okay, don't worry. Okay, so this one, when you square, okay, you will get P minus Q. Okay, and then, okay, if this helps, P minus Q square root minus P plus Q square root. Then saya darab 2 kali bahkan sebab dia kuasa 2. Okay, P minus Q minus P plus Q. Okay, so ini darab ini, I will get this P minus Q. So the square root will hilang. Okay, and then ini darab ini. Okay, I will get minus, don't worry about this. Okay, P minus Q, P plus Q. Okay. All right, and then I will get the same thing again, minus the same thing. Okay, square root of P minus Q, square root of P plus Q. Okay, then plus P plus Q equals to 1 squared. Okay, that's normal lah. So yang ini darab ini bahkan you get plus. Okay, plus P plus Q. Okay, so this one I can gabung. Okay, since this is minus 1 and then minus the other one, right? It will be the same. So this will be minus 2. Okay, hold on to your horses. Okay, just relax. Okay, P plus Q. Okay, then this one, P minus Q and P plus Q. So P plus P will be 2P minus Q plus Q. The Q will be hilang lah. Okay, that's good news for us because it will be really horrible. Okay, now I would presume okay, I will presume that maybe some of you who can do this, you can do up to here. Okay, now once you've done up to here, this is really a matter of kena biasakan diri, like, okay, what do I need to do next? Okay, the most important thing that we have to do is to get rid of that square root. Okay, but the only way you can get rid of the square root is if you multiply with the square root that has the same inside. The problem with this is this one, the insides are not the same. One is P minus Q, the other one is P plus Q. Mana boleh sama, bahkan you cannot multiply it. So, like this. This this 2P saya pindah pergi sebelah. So I'll get negative 2, relax, square root P minus Q, square root P plus Q, okay, equals to 1 minus 2P. And then I square both sides again. Okay, I square both sides again. Because this one is only one term. There is no plus minus in between the terms. So when I square everything, this will become 4. This will become P minus Q. And this will become P plus Q. Equals to, and then you will get this lah. Okay, 1 minus 4p plus 4p squared. Okay, I'm going to leave the working until here. After this is just terus kau dapat jawapan beginilah. Okay, Q equals to 4p minus 1 square root over 2. Okay, but again, this is this is a kind of like tidak payah fikir kind of question. It's just do only lah. But you really have to understand again, you know what it means to get rid of the cert. Okay, the cara-cara untuk menghilangkan cert. In question A, you do it by rationalizing the denominator. Okay, and in question B, you do it by trying to square your way out so that at the end, you don't have any more square roots. Okay, so this is what we call a real technique menjawab lah. Okay, and it comes with a lot of practice. Okay, you practice enough and you were like, oh, okay, siapa nak nampak ni soalan? I know I've seen this question before, you know, and I've done it. I think the way to do this is you square until you cannot square anymore. Sorry, you square until all the certs are gone. Okay, so that is how we would do it. Okay, so I've shown you up to here. I hope that you can continue to finish the rest lah, and you get this answer. Okay, Q equals to square root of 4p minus 1 over 2. Okay. All right. We've done 5 questions so far. I'm just wondering whether anybody has any questions that they want to ask, like anything you're not sure, anything you want me to repeat. Because we only have 15 questions and I'm like, wow, 5 questions already. So fast. Biasanya, like, you know, one paper I'll take forever and ever, but yeah. Okay, if you have any questions, don't be shy. Just ask in this one, in the chat. But of course, questions to do with this paper first lah. Okay, don't ask me personal questions like when am I going to get married? All those are unimportant questions. Okay, all right. Let's go to the next one. Okay, find the value of, then you have the limit of yada questions lah. Okay, now those of you that I taught when you were in 4SD, I kind of skimmed, sorry, when we were in Form 5, I kind of just skimmed over this. Okay, I taught it a little bit, but I didn't really go into much. Okay, but the general idea is if you want to find the limit, you substitute the x value into here. You substitute the x values into here. Okay, but the only important thing is that if there is a denominator, the denominator cannot be 0. Okay, the moment the denominator is 0, you have to do something else. Okay, so we find that when we substitute 3 into this x, 12 minus 3 will be 9. Square root of 9 is 3. 3 minus 3 will be 0. So that is a problem. Okay, that is a problem for us. We cannot substitute the x equals to 3 yet. Okay, so we will have to think of another method to solve this problem. Okay, so the method, of course, what else can it be? It's to rationalize the denominator again. Okay, so you rationalize the denominator by multiplying with 3 plus square root of 12 minus x over 3 plus square root of 12 minus x. Okay, once you rationalize the denominator, you should be able to substitute the x equals to 3 and you will get the answer 6. Okay, so yeah, remember how to, please remember how to rationalize denominator. It's a very important skill actually. Even if you don't do it in Form 5, you will do it in Form 6 again. Or see, even Sean got it rationalizing. Nice. Okay, so you know, it's good that you are recognizing this. Okay, this means that your efforts are paying off. Hooray. Okay, the point P lies on the curve yada yada, where C is a constant. Okay, given that the equation of the normal to the curve at point P is y equals to kx. Okay, find the coordinates of point P in terms of k. Okay, when you see equation of normal and you see a curve and you see that there is this limit here, you kind of know that this is a differentiation question. differentiation question. Okay, you kind of know that this is a question. So as always, if you don't know what to do, but you know that it is a differentiation question, the first thing you do is differentiate it. Okay, so I'm going to give you the steps lah for question B. First of all, differentiate. Okay, differentiate y equals to x squared minus 2x plus c. Now, since c is just a pemalar, it's just a constant. When you differentiate a constant, you get 0. So totally no problem. Okay, and then after that, find the equation of tangent. Sorry, you have to find the equation of tangent. Okay, because point P is the point of intersection between the tangent and the normal. Now we know the normal is y equals to kx. Okay, the equation of this one. So you have to find the equation of tangent, and then after that do y equals to y to find the coordinates of point P in terms of k. Okay, in terms of k. So you will get this lah. Again, very strange answer. 1 minus 1 over 2k, and this is the x coordinate. Then the y coordinate is k minus half. Okay, so again, now we're not dealing with numbers, we're dealing with the concepts. Okay, the concepts behind it. That's why paper one questions like people like, oh, paper one, soalan pendek means senang. Oh no, we find that nowadays in NMATS, it is the paper two questions that are easier than the paper one questions. Because the paper one questions are so conceptual and sometimes they hardly give any numbers and you get these kind of questions. Okay, we are seeing this trend happening okay, in the previous years, and I think that even with the new syllabus, even with the new format, I don't think this thing is going to change. Okay, there is a stronger focus on concept in paper one and a stronger focus on calculation and routine questions in paper two. Okay, so that's why this discussion today is very important. Paper one, I'm kind of focusing a lot on paper one. For those of you who are okay with paper two already. Okay, so yeah, give this a try. Okay, once you get the point of intersection, then you should be able to get the two coordinates in terms of k. Okay, very strange one. All right, question number 7. Diagram 4 shows part of the curve x equals to fy. Okay, then you're given the area of the shaded region is 6 units. Find the value of 2 to 4. Okay, this is kind of no-brainer lah. Okay, 2 to 4 of 3 fy dy. Okay, so this is really no-brainer. Okay, the only thing that they will probably try to catch you is, why is it negative? Okay, why is it negative? Because it's on the left side of the curve. Remember, everybody, okay, that is, okay, and if this is the x-axis okay, and the other one is like this, if like, oh, sorry, okay, if it is like this, if it's here, these are all positive areas. Okay, if it is like this and the other one is like this, okay, these are all negative areas. Okay, when I taught this, when I taught this, I taught you as know whether it is a positive or negative area, and then only at the final answer you put in the negative or the positive, because the negative of the positive area just shows you which side of the axis it is on. If it is y-axis, negative is left side, positive is right side. If it is the x-axis, positive is the upper side, negative is the lower side. Okay, because whenever we count this, we always count area under the graph, but technically it's area towards the axis. It's not really area under the graph, because look at this. This is not area under the graph, it's area above the graph. But it's area that is towards the x-axis. That's why the negative and the positive values are important, but only at the end. Okay, somebody asked if I forgot to put the negative, how, sir? Okay, Well, number one, this is a 1 mark question. Is you either know or you don't know. Okay. Secondly, there is no markah kesian like, okay, setengah markah lah dia dapat 18 betul. Tiada. Okay, in admaths, in physics, in all the sciences, as far as I know, there's no such thing as half mark man. It's 0 or 1. Okay, it's either you get it or you don't get it. So you cannot really say if I forget to put the negative because it's a 1 mark question. It's either 0 or 1. There's no half. Okay, there's no such thing as half mark in admaths, not even in physics. Okay, all right. The gradient function. Okay, gradient function of a curve, gradient function, remember, is dy dx. Okay, sometimes the questions won't be so, explicit. They will like tell you, oh, dy dx is kx squared minus 2x. No, no, no. They will say it as the gradient function. Okay, and if you have to find the equation of the curve, the thing you need to do is integrate. Okay, integrate kx squared minus 2x towards x. Okay, find the constant. And then, of course, they give you this lah. Okay, when a equals to 1 and 6, and b equals to -2 and 15. Okay, you know why? Because it is, okay, this is going to involve simultaneous equation. Okay, do you know why? Because when you integrate this, fine, let me do it. Kx cubed over 3 minus 2x squared over 2 plus c kan equals to y. Okay, so that's why they are giving you these 2 points so that you can sub y and x to find k and c. If they just give you one point, means you only need to find one unknown lah. But the problem is you have to find 2 unknowns. Kamu kena cari nilai k dan kamu kena cari nilai c juga. Okay, so that's why the k and the c, you need to have 2 points in order to find 2 unknowns. Okay, I don't know how many of you would understand this, but I'm just going to say it anyway. One of the things that I learned when I was in Form 6 that really, really helped me when I did this one is, if you want to find 2 values, you have to form 2 equations. 2 unknowns lah. Kalau kamu mau cari 2 unknown, bahkan contohnya x dan y, bahkan you have to have 2 equations. If you want to find 3 unknowns, like for example, system of equations, you want to find x, y, and z, bahkan you have to have 3 equations. And maths works that way. Okay, according to that logic, if you have 100 unknowns, you will need to have 100 equations. Then you have a simultaneous equations party lah. Okay, by having 100 equations altogether. But it's true. Okay, and I never forgot that statement until today. I was like, always remember, if you have 2 unknowns, you need to have 2 equations. Then you can find the 2 unknowns. Okay, same thing like this lah. You have 2 unknowns, so you need to have 2 equations. That's why they gave you 2 points. Okay? Everything is given there to help you. Okay. Okay, number 8. Okay, you know why? You know I sigh very big on this number 8 because this. Okay, the proving question is no problem. Okay, let me tell you, the proving question is no problem. It can be proven. You just have to cross multiply lah. Okay, cotangent squared plus 1 over cotangent, cotangent squared theta plus 1 over cotangent theta. And then lepas itu kamu ganti cotangent squared, then you should be able to get this. Okay, that one is no problem. The problem is with question A. Okay, and the bigger problem is that it is a 2-mark question. Okay, this is a 2-mark question, and look at the answer. It's just 1 minus 2p squared. It's like, what? Okay, you are given that sine 3a over 2 equals to p. Okay, and then after that you have cos 2a lah. Cos 3a dalam sebutan p. Now we come back to the original one first. Cos 2a equals to 1 minus 2 sine squared a. Okay, this is the formula given. Now, the interesting thing about trigonometry lah, okay, which is like after I teach you all this, it's going to be like, astaga, what kind of sorcery is this lah? Okay, but it's true, it's not sorcery, it's just the amazing and yet perplexing thing about trigonometry is this. If I change the angle of one side of the identity, the other side of the identity is also affected by it. Okay, so how do I change cos 2a to become cos 3a? Okay, how do I change cos 2a? How do I change the angle of 2a to become 3a? You know what we do? We divide by 2 times 3. It's true. Divide by 2 times 3. And because of that, this angle also has to follow the same rule. Okay, so the angle will be divide by 2 times 3, which will make it 1 minus 2 sine squared 3 over 2a. Okay, 3 over 2a, which is p. Therefore, cos 3a equals to 1 minus 2 p, the whole thing squared, which will be 1 minus 2p squared. Okay, so yeah, so that's the answer. It's a yeah. Usually, we tend to avoid this question. You know why? Because most people will give what you know what they start doing, they'll do cos 2a plus a. Okay, this the standard standard textbook answer. Okay, we'll always do this cos 2a plus a. Then after that, wow. Okay, but actually, if we use the identity 2a, then all you need to do is just divide 2 times 3. And because we change this angle also has to follow. It will be divide 2 times 3, which, wow, 3 over 2a. 3 over 2a is the same as the one given in the question. Okay, and that's how you get this answer lah. Boleh juga, bukan boleh juga, memang kena boleh. Okay, you know why? It's a 2-mark question. If you want to do this cos 2a plus a, you're inviting a lot of trouble. You can do cos 2a plus a, okay, but it's going to be very difficult to get this sine 3a over 2 because the question mau dalam sebutan p. Okay, so this is conceptual at the highest level lah. It's like apa ba ni soalan, but yeah, there you go lah. Okay, sometimes the answer is like apa ini. Okay, but yeah, you're expecting a difficult question. Actually, the B question is more complicated. It's not difficult, but it's more complicated. A question is not complicated, it's just more difficult to understand. Because like, apa ini? Tukar the angle saja begitu. Yeah, tukar the angle saja begitu. I'm not lying to you. Okay. All right, number 9. Okay, number 9, unfortunately, I can only give you the answer to the last one, okay? Because if I give you everything, I have nothing to do already. Okay, the answer is k equals to 3 to the power of p. And this is a linear law question. You know why it's linear law? Because you see the straight line and you know this one and this one. Okay, so how do you ungkapkan? How do you express this? You have to log both sides lah. Okay, and I know that there are some of you don't like log questions kalau dia linear law. You like the yang tiada log kan. Okay, I really recommend that if you don't like or if you're weak at the log questions, bagus kamu jawab soalan log. Okay, don't take the chance. Okay, linear law is one of those chapters where in paper 2 you can answer, in paper 1 also you also should be able to answer, but paper 2 of course is where it matters more lah, because dia 10 markah. Okay, and there's only one question, and you shouldn't be, okay, saya tidak mau buat lah log, saya berdoa dengan sangat kuat lah supaya yang tiada log yang keluar. Macam mana kalau doa kamu tidak termakbul? Okay, what if your prayers are not answered? What are you going to do? Are you going to curse God and say, oh, no, you make preparations. Okay, prepare for both. And if you know that you're weaker in the log one, answer more log questions. so you can build your log muscle. Wow. Okay, to do that. Now, some of you may have a question with B1, the range of the values of the gradient M. Range of values, the answer is always less or more or in between. Okay, less or more in between. And we know that this gradient, the gradient is a negative gradient. Kan? The gradient is a negative gradient because the shape of the graph also tells you it's a negative gradient. So the range of values for negative gradient will be M is less than 0. That's it. This is the answer for B1. Okay, range of values of M. M must be a negative number lah. Okay, we don't care what the number is lah, but we know that it is a negative number. Okay, you can find the value of H. H has something to do with the y-intercept. Okay, it's all this is only 1 mark lah, so I'm not really going to show this to you. But if you do everything correctly, okay, you should be able to get the last one correct. So I'm only going to give you the answer for the last one, which is k equals to 3 to the power of p. Okay, I'm going to leave this as it is here. All right, question 10. Okay. This one, the first one is not so much of a problem. Okay, a equals to k squared I plus 2j. This one, then you substitute the a in here, substitute the b in here, and then compare. Do not move left and right. Okay, remember our vector, when you substitute everything in, you leave it as it is, no moving across the equal sign. You compare the I and the j. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here as it is because it's a pretty easy one. K equals to 1/3 and k equals to -1. This will be the answer. My focus, of course, is on question B. B is a little bit tough. Okay, so the water current is flowing at the speed of 6 kilometers per hour. Okay, 6 kilometers per hour, okay, due north. So the water current is going northwards with 6 kilometers per hour. Okay, now a jet ski is heading west. West is Barat. Okay, Barat is to the left. So this is how he would go at 12 kilometers per hour. Okay, now the question is find the actual speed and direction, okay, of the movement of the jet ski. Okay, so obviously this is, this is pretty easy because one is north, one is west. So we know that this is a 90-degree angle. Okay, so in order to find this vector, okay, we can use, Pythagoras theorem or whatever lah. Okay, so I'm going to bring this one up here like this. So this is 6. I know that this is 90 degrees. So I can find this value by using Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so I will get 13.42 kilometers per hour. So this guy is going to move at 13.42 kilometers per hour. The problem is with the direction. Okay. Now, if this is the vector, okay, usually direction, I will say, to the horizontal vector, I will use this one. Okay, I will use this angle. And when I use this angle, it's very easy. We use tangent. So tangent 6/12 equals to tangent theta equals to 6/12. Okay, opposite over adjacent. And so we will get theta equals to, we get theta equals to 26.565 degrees. Okay, but the answer given in this trial paper is this 296.57. Okay, which is like, what is this? Okay, and then only I realized why they gave 296.57. So there are a few ways to write this direction. Okay, and usually when I teach, when I look at the textbook, they always seem to give the answer in this answer lah. Okay, but you have to qualify it. You have to state now that it is 26.565 degrees, okay, to the horizontal vector. Okay, this is one way of writing the answer. Okay, because we count this angle, and we count the angle, it is to the horizontal vector lah. Okay, it is touching the horizontal vector. That's why we said it's 26.565 degrees to the horizontal vector. Now, the reason why the answer gives like this is because they are using the maths way, which is bearing. Bearing is always from the north until here. Okay, so from the north until here, this is 270 degrees plus 26.565. Okay, so 270 plus 26.565 will give you this answer, 296.57 degrees. Okay, you can do it both ways. Okay, for me, I find that you can do it both ways. Of course, when you write the bearing way, bila kamu tulis cara bearing, you don't have to write this nonsense lah, not this to the horizontal vector. Okay, because it is a universal language. People understand bearing. Okay, Marvin has got the right bearing. Okay, but if you're going to use just the tangent and then you're just going to use this 26.565, you need to mention that dia adalah 26.565 darjah kepada vektor mengufuk. Okay, to the horizontal vector. Dia mesti menyentuh, which vector. Okay, so that is a very important thing that I want to mention in this. Okay, you can do it both ways. Personally, I prefer this way. Saya lebih suka cara ini. Okay, but it doesn't mean that cara bearing adalah salah. Bearing also, cara bearing adalah salah. Okay, it doesn't mean that. Okay, the bearing way is also correct. And I hope you know that if the bearing is less than 100 degrees, if you're going to use bearing and the answer is less than 100 degrees, make sure you add a zero in front. Okay, for example, 084.56, jangan ketinggalan ini zero tau when you're answering bearing. Okay, I hope you remember that lah. Okay, taken from, I don't remember which chapter is bearing already. Find the number of possible ways. Okay, question 11. Find the number of possible ways to arrange all the letters in the word calculus if the vowels are always together. Now, in a normal situation, okay, we would just take all the vowels and put them together lah. So there are 1, 2, 3 vowels. So we'll do the 3 factorial. Then we multiply with all the vowels in one group and then CLCLS. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yang kita mau pilih atur. It will be 6 factorial. Okay. But the problem is 3 factorial and 6 factorial will not give you this answer 540. Okay, times 6 factorial will give you the answer of 4320. And the reason for this is because in both situations, in the vowel situation, kamu ada 2 huruf U. Okay, so there is a repeating letter. If you choose this U and you choose the other U, no difference, but the letter is U also, right? So when there is a repeating situation, we have to divide with the number of repeats. So if there are 2 letters repeat, we divide by 2 factorial. Same thing goes with the big one. The big one even better, got 2C and 2L. So we will have to divide by 2 factorial twice because there are 2 letter C's and 2 letter L's. Be very careful, okay? Because generally when we do permutation, immediately we, 3 factorial, 6 factorial, okay, done. But we forget that there are repeat letters. Okay, so there's the level 1 question where the answer, where the letters are all different. Okay, for example, if you want to permutate my name, all 6 letters in my name are different. So no problem, you can do normally. But if you are going to permutate, let's say my surname, KHOO, this one is different. Okay, this will be 4 factorial over 2 factorial. Sebab saya ada 4 huruf, betul. But I have 2 letter O's. Okay, so be very, very careful with this. Okay, the repeat letters need to have a special langkah. Okay. Now, determine the value of n for the equation of this. This is a NPR formula. The NPR formula is n factorial over n minus r, the whole thing factorial. Okay, so this is the n, this is the r. You do, you should be able to get the answer, n equals to 4. This is an easy question. Okay, so I'm not going to really go much into this. Three different questions in the quiz. Each question has three choices of answer. Pupils who are qualified enter the stage at least two answers. Okay, so we see this and we think about, we see this and then we see this, and then we say that, okay, this is binomial lah. Okay, because the question also thinks about probability. Okay, so that's a very this one very important thing to remember. Okay, so three choices. Okay, three choices. In order to qualify, they have to get at least two correct. So the possible ways they can answer is, after they answer three questions, they get 0, they get 1, they get 2, and they get 3. Okay, all three correct, 0 correct, 1 correct, 2 correct, 3 correct. Okay, all three correct. So if you're going to write x in set notation, okay, x will be 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, this will be, because there's only 4 possible answers. Complete the table by calculating this one. So n is equals to 3, of course, and then the r will be different values of r. But the problem is every question has 3 choices of answer. Okay, 3 choices of answer. Hold on. 3 soalan yang berbeza. Oh, 3 different questions, 3 choices of answer. So the probability of getting it correct, okay, which is P, will be 1/3. The Q will be 2/3. Okay, that's very normal. So you can calculate all these values. Okay, and then after that you draw a probability distribution graph. Probability distribution graph will be like this one. Okay, based on these values, okay, over here, then you draw lah. Okay, then you write correctly, and it doesn't really matter what it is because it is just a sketch lah. Okay, so all you do is just whatever this value is, you just put over here, then you write the value. Put over here, write the value. Put over here, write the value. And then you should be able to get this done. Okay, the last question is find the probability that Asri qualifies to the final stage. Now he can qualify if he answers at least 2 correctly. Okay, so we're talking about this probability plus this probability. Probability of getting 2 answers correct plus the probability of getting 3 answers correct. Okay, would be this one. If you answer in fraction 10, yes, I think it should be okay to answer in fraction. Why not? Okay, now the next 3 questions are a little bit more challenging. Okay, but especially this question. Okay, and I think somebody asked me this question a few days ago, and I might have given the wrong information. But let me give you the answer first. Okay, so these are the answers. PQS, y equals to 3/2x. Okay, T and R, and then the locus is this. Okay, x squared plus y squared minus 26. Okay, the last town in this question, actually this is it's not a very obvious question. Okay, yes, it's not a very obvious question. Okay, but the last town refers to U. Okay, U is the last town, and that's how you will get this answer. I also was thinking, what is this last town? Okay, and then I realized that the last town is the town. Okay, this Pekan Terakhir is the town that that is not mentioned in any of this. Okay, so if you see A is PQS and then C is TR, so only U is not mentioned. Okay, so so because of that, we assume that this last town in this question, okay, means U. Okay, so diagram 6 shows the location of 6 towns PQRSTU on the Cartesian plane. Okay, City Hall A wishes to improve the local infrastructure through road construction between towns. Okay, yeah. Okay, this. Okay. Okay. sorry. Okay, so according to research, an engineer found that 3 towns can be linked by a straight road. Okay, so you determine which are the 3 towns and show the calculation to support your answer. The best way to do this is by experimentation, but unfortunately it's only 2 marks. Okay, so you have to look at this very logically. It's either, okay, there's only two ways to make the straight line. It's either P, Q, and S or T, R, and U. It's either that or that. So the best way to do this is to calculate the gradient. Okay, you calculate the gradient of PQ and PS. If it is the same gradient, then you've gotten it. Or you calculate the gradient of TR and TU. Okay, if it is the same gradient, then they're in one line. Okay, you know what I mean? So find the gradient. You don't have to, obviously, it's not P and U lah, okay, or PQU or TRP. Obviously, it's not that lah, because it's not a straight line. It's like a V. So you don't go and sibuk and find the rest. So find the PQ, PS, or TR and TU. Then you can do something. But I've already given an answer. It's PQ and S lah. So the first mark goes to finding the gradient of PQ or finding the gradient of PS. And then after that, you have to nyatakan the three towns that are in one straight line, which is PQ and S. Okay, so the calculation is 1 mark. The statement PQ and S are in one line is the other mark. Okay, then after that, write the equation of the straight line. When you have found the gradient, you can find the equation of the straight line. You will find that the C is equals to 0. Okay, then you get Y equals to 3 over 2x. Okay. Okay, now question C. The engineer found that another straight road, which is perpendicular to the road in 13B, is able to link two different towns. Okay, so this is again another problem. So once you have gotten A, you find that, okay, so P, Q, and S actually is one straight line. Okay, so the question is, you want to find the line, you want to find the line that makes a perpendicular gradient. So from question B, you know that, okay, gradient adalah 3 over 2. So the perpendicular to that will be M equals to negative 2 over 3. Okay. So which are the two towns that can be joined that when you calculate the gradient is negative 2 over 3? So of course now you know the answer, T and R lah. Okay, so you find the gradient of TR and you will get the gradient of negative 2 over 3. But if you don't know how to do this, then you have to experiment. Find TR, find TU, find RU. There's only these three possible ones. Find TR, find TU, find RU. Only one of it will give you the gradient of negative 2 over 3. And the key to this is because of the words perpendicular. Okay, because of the words perpendicular. So that's how you know that the gradient is negative 2 over 3. Okay, and since we have TR in this one, so the last question, there's a roundabout centered at O passing through the last town. Thank you. The last town, okay, which is the town that is not mentioned. Okay, honestly, if you ask me, actually, I also thought the same as the student who asked me. I thought that the last town is the town that is the furthest away. Paling jauh lah kan. Makes very perfect sense. P10, 15, but no. Apparently, the last town is the town that tidak kena sebut, which is town U. Okay, mau juga kena sebutkan, kalau tidak dia akan jadi FOMO lah kan, fear of missing out. Okay, so and the same thing lah. Roundabout means you need to find the radius, okay, and centered at O. So centered at O means you need to find, you need to find the distance between O and U. Okay, find the distance between O and U. No, linear. Okay. Distance between O and U, and then you can get the radius. Then you can find the locus. Okay, which is this answer, x squared plus y squared minus 26 equals to 0. Come give it back. Thank you. Okay. All right. Can everybody? Can Okay. Question 14. Okay. Mutiara Timur. okay, wishes to encourage the involvement of all family members in the tourism program. Okay. So the company, okay, will give special offer to clients, yada yada. So this one, if you notice, this is actually a simultaneous equations question. Okay, put it in such a very complicated manner. Okay, but we assume that, okay, the senior citizen one is X, the adults is Y, and then the Z is the children punya price. Okay, so you form the three equations lah. Okay, 4x plus 2y plus 3z equals to 680, and so on and so forth. It's a very, very simple question. Okay, except that they put it in this jadwal, which actually makes it easier. Kan? Most simultaneous equations questions dia bagi satu karangan yang sangat panjang, then you have to read everything. But this question is very simple. They have already given it to you in a table. Okay, and all you need to know is how to form the equation. Okay, forming the equation is already marked in itself. Okay, and then you will get the answer for this one. This is X, this is Y, this is Z. Assuming that your X is senior citizen, your Y is adults, and your children is Z. Okay, so you get the price for this. Okay, it's pretty interesting that the price for children is actually higher than the price for adults. A price for senior citizens. Why? Because this is a program pelancongan. Interesting. When I saw this question, I was like, oh, very interesting. Why would it be like that? There you go. Okay, simultaneous equations. Give this a try. I would definitely recommend everyone to answer this. Okay, because it's a simultaneous equations questions. Very simple. Okay, quite simple. All right. This last question. Okay, this last question is a functions question. It can also be answered logically. Okay, so Puan Faika works in a housing development company. Every month she receives a basic salary of 2,000 ringgit and a 2.5 commission on sales exceed if the sales exceed 100,000. Okay, so you're given the function fx equals to x minus 100,000, and then gx is 0.025x, where x represents her sales for the month. So you're supposed to write a composite function that represents the monthly income of Puan Faika from the sales. So the question you need to ask is this: is the commission first, or you have to minus the 100,000 first? Okay, obviously you have to minus the 100,000 first. So that's why the fx will be the inside function. Because the question is very clear. It says that x represents, 2.5 commission on sales that exceed 100,000. That means if the sale is 100,000, then the first 100,000 is not count. There's no commission on that. Okay, anything beyond 100,000 is where the commission is. So the first thing you need to do is to find the baki yang kena commission. And then only you multiply by 0.025, which is 2.5%. 1, 2. 1, 2. Asked 1, 2. Fine. 0.025. Okay, that's where the 0.025 comes from. Okay, so I'm only going to show you this. Of course, I want you to, G and then X minus 100,000. Okay, there's only one more step to this. So write the composite function down. Now, what happens if you cannot answer this question A? Does it mean you cannot answer question B and C? No. Actually, the beauty behind this question is that you can still answer even if you don't answer question A. If Puan Faika achieved the sales of 225,000 on September, find her total income. Okay, so the basic is 2,000 now. This is very normal. Okay, we need to find the commission first. Okay, so how do you find the commission? You minus the 100,000. So you get 125,000. Okay, and then you times by 2.5%. Okay, and then you add on to the 2,000 ringgit. Then you get the total income. Remember, it's total income. So it's basic plus commission. Then you get the total of 5,125. Okay, Last question. If Puan Faika intends to have a total monthly income of at least 8,000, what is the minimum sales that she has to achieve every month? Okay, at least 8,000. Okay. Now, if her total monthly income is at least 8,000, she needs to have a commission. Okay, her commission, okay, must be at least 6,000 because her basic is 2,000. Belum tambah commission lah. Okay, so she receives a basic salary 2,000. So her commission must be at least 6,000. At least, the symbol for at least is lebih besar, lebih besar atau sama dengan. So what is the commission is this one GFX kan? Or okay lah, fine. If not also, you know that okay, you have to the sales minus 100,000. Okay, then you times 2.5%. Okay, 2.5%. Then after that, it has to be more than 6,000. So you find the value of X. Oh, sorry, hold on. Yeah, correct. Value of X. So she has to achieve a target sale of 340,000 in order to get a monthly income of at least 8,000. Okay, so wow, this is a very high. Oh, pembangunan perumahan. Okay, obviously lah. Okay, so if you think about it, this question, okay, let's say you don't know how to answer question A lah, like apa benda ni composite function, and if you don't know lah, you can still answer B and C actually. Just use logic. Okay, if you have gone for work before, if you have done work before, you know that, especially like let's say for example, if you work in a restaurant, right, sometimes you get tips, and the tips will be added to your basic pay, but you need to achieve a certain amount of sales in order to get tips. Okay, and actually B and C can be calculated manually. You don't have to use function also. Okay, what if you don't use function? You know that this question is function, but you don't use function. You use your own, your own cara kedai kopi. Okay, go ahead. Because at the end of the day, you still did maths and you still got the answer correct. Okay, so look, when you look at the question, don't always think that there's only one way to answer the question. Sometimes there's more than one way, and sometimes the way that you're used to doing can also be accepted as a way to do. Oh, so if question 15A, we write GFX and FGX, okay, Kaito? Cannot. FGX is wrong. Because FGX is, kamu kira dulu itu commission, baru kamu tolak 100,000. Mana boleh? Cannot. The question is very specific. Mesti tolak dulu 100,000 daripada jumlah sales dia, baru commission itu dikira daripada baki tersebut. You see there's a difference there, Marvin? Okay, there is a difference between the tulis dua-dua. Oh, if you write both and then you hope that one of it is correct. Okay. Kalau kamu tanya saya akan tulis salah. Saya akan tulis betul, lepas itu saya akan tulis salah. Tapi saya akan bagi kamu satu markah lah. Because kamu layak dapat satu markah. Tapi kamu punya jawapan bercanggahan, but that's the problem. Your answer is bercanggah. Kamu akan dapat satu markah untuk kemahiran buat composite function. That's normal. You can do that. Okay, tapi kamu akan kehilangan markah sebab kamu memberi jawapan yang bercanggahan. So it will be 1 mark, and then -1 sebab jawapan bercanggah. Okay. Now the hard work is on you. Okay, saya sudah tunjuk semua bahkan. Now is the time for you to sit down and do. Okay, that's why I only want one class a week for admits, because I want you to spend the time to do what we have discussed. Okay, saya tidak menunjukkan jalan. Now you have to do. Sorry, saya hanya buka pintu saja. You have to walk through that door. Okay, and you have to answer this for yourself. Okay,